sits down with the director of Rogue One, Gareth Edwards. We head to London to check out the Star Wars Identities exhibit and much, much more. Now, from the Lucasfilm headquarters, it's the Star Wars Show.
Hello, I'm Peter Townley.
And I'm Andy Gutierrez, and welcome to the Star Wars Show, a show that can proudly say, along with many of our other viewers, that we got our advance tickets to Rogue One.
Yes, after waiting in a virtual queue for 3 hours, we finally got seats to the very first showing on Sunday morning.
Technology. As mentioned seconds ago, advance tickets for Rogue One are available now.
Even better, if you snag tickets early, you have an opportunity to receive some pretty cool swag.
Alamo Drafthouse is offering up Rogue One pint glasses. AMC is offering weekly Rogue One mini posters if you see the film in IMAX.
Fandango even has a sweepstakes where you can win a U-Wing model signed by director Gareth Edwards.
I want that. Other exclusives are available from IMAX, Regal, Dolby, Cinemark, and Atom. You can read the complete list as well as check out the images of the aforementioned exclusives on StarWars.com.
And while we're on the subject of Rogue One, we are very happy to announce that StarWars.com will once again be live streaming from the red carpet in Los Angeles.
The Rogue One, A Star Wars Story red carpet live stream presented by Verizon will kick off live on December 10th at 5 p.m. Pacific and feature exclusive interviews with the cast and creators of the film.
The stream will be available for viewing on StarWars.com, our YouTube page, as well as the Go90 app and Fios TV.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Finally, the Star Wars Identities exhibit opened recently in London. The exhibit, featuring over 200 props and costumes from the Star Wars saga, tasks guests with finding specific identity questions at interactive kiosks throughout the exhibit to find out what kind of Star Wars hero or villain they would be via a smart technology bracelet.
And wouldn't you know it, the Star Wars show was at the opening of Star Wars Identities to find out not only what it takes to move these priceless artifacts from city to city, but what kind of Star Wars character we would be. Not we as in me and Andy, it's Jamie.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Who are you? Maz Kanata once asked Ray. Well, I'm about to find out here at London's O2 Arena at the Star Wars Identities exhibition. Best mannequin challenge ever. Do you think it's literally someone's job to polish his helmet? OMG, it's a mouse droid. It's my long-lost twin brother. I'm at Jabba's Eyes with Layla French of Star Wars Identities. Layla, it appears that Jabba's undergone some serious weight loss. Where's the rest of him? What have you done?
We only have eyeballs. There are no other body parts of Jabba left over. And I think it was so complicated making that big latex creature, they didn't save it, sadly.
How do you travel the world with these really kind of precious items? It's a lot of pressure, yeah?
It's a lot to take care of. We have to use the finest of museum techniques in crating, packing, shipping. So the same techniques that they use for a Van Gogh or a Rodin sculpture, we apply to our Star Wars collection.
Why is this more than just a props display?
This is an exhibit about discovering who you are, what makes humans unique, where does human identity come from. So you wear a rubber bracelet and you go around answering these questions that help you shape who you are, and you create your Star Wars character, and at the same time you're learning about the science of human identity. So it's a great win-win.
The time has come to reveal my Star Wars identity to the world. So now we know who my mum really gave birth to. A Jedi Wookiee. If you want to know who you are, then Star Wars Identities is here at the O2 until September 2017.
All right, everybody, we are just a few short weeks away from the release of Rogue One, so we are very fortunate to be joined today by its director, Gareth Edwards.
Thanks for having me.
What's it been like for you, being on site?
It's a real privilege to be here. You feel like you're on sacred ground, and just to walk down the corridors and see the pioneering work that like ILM did in cinema, like, you know, you got Jurassic Park, Terminator 2.
What added elements have come to the process by working here at Skywalker Ranch?
Well, obviously, like John Knoll is our visual effects supervisor on Rogue One. He was a massive hero of mine. Like, my background was visual effects, and I sat for about 10 years in my bedroom trying to do computer graphics. And I'd put on the making of Star Wars to kind of keep me motivated. And you'd hear John Knoll kind of talking to George and things like this. And then sometimes accidentally end up in situations where I hear that voice and I go, oh my God, that's like the making of Star Wars documentary that I've watched to death. And then realize I'm the other guy now talking about what a ship should look like or what a shot should be.
Now you're going to be in it.
There has been cameras hanging around. Is that what it's all about?
Possibly.
Okay.
This is going to be the first Star Wars movie that you won't get to see as just a fan.
It is the curse of filmmaking, I think.
How is that going to change that experience for you?
You never get to watch your film the way the audience watches it. With the original trilogy, George went back and did like a special edition. You think, why? You know, it was perfect.
Right.
And then as a filmmaker, he felt like, no, there was these things I didn't quite get right and I want to do them. And as a filmmaker, you always feel that way, or I do at least, about the work I've done, is where you always see little things you want to keep tinkering with.
Are there any like fun stories or behind the scenes tidbits that you haven't been able to tell anyone yet that, us being Star Wars show, you're willing to divulge?
There's some Easter eggs in Saw's cave. There's some cave paintings. One of them is of the creatures that were in my first film called Monsters.
Okay.
And I think there's some Mutos and Godzilla
Perfect.
painted somewhere on there. I didn't ask for it. It's just they did it as a joke. And then I just came in one day and spotted it. It was like during the middle of a take.
What was the toughest day on set?
I mean, the most difficult thing about filming is it's just relentless. Normally you have to get in the car by about 5 a.m. and you might not get home till midnight. You do that every day for like 5 months. It's kind of a marathon and you have to kind of remind yourself of that and not exhaust yourself too early because you've got to get through the whole shoot. I think the toughest shooting day, there was different ones. There's on a planet called Edu, there was a lot of rain and there's something psychological that you forget. I mean, rain looks really good on camera, but you forget how tiring it is for the crew and the actors to be drenched all day long. And we all bought these really expensive suits that kept you 100% dry, but as soon as there's one little crack in it, because you've got 10 hours of rain, it just finds its way down and then eventually you're covered like you swam in a lake. What would happen is sometimes I'd end up holding the camera and, we wanted to keep it very flexible for the actors. And so you could quickly go over here if they were doing this or something interesting happened, you could go to the other person. And the actual lenses we had were the original lenses they shot Ben-Hur on, the original Ben-Hur.
Wow.
And so these like beautiful anamorphic, very like organic feel because we didn't want it to feel digital. As a result, you get like this beautiful depth of field where everything's out of focus, but it's a nightmare for the focus puller. And so you have to try and warn him like what you're going to do. But there's these intimate scenes going on inside the ship, so you can't talk. They put a microphone next to my mouth and then this duct tape somewhere, so I could just whisper like close and then like far, close, far, like just kind of to give, but I have to really whisper it. And I didn't realise what it looked like, but the AD kept cracking up.
That's going to be on the behind the scenes documentary, you know it.
I used to think like stylistically, if you were going to do a film that was sort of like embedded and handheld and gritty, and if you were going to do a different sort of more classical style of directing, then, you'd maybe do that for the whole film. And in Rogue One, we ended up just mixing and matching styles. Sometimes you go from like very grounded, like in the trenches photography of a battle to suddenly like these epic, beautiful shots. And that contrast really worked well. I think to some extent, if a year and a half ago we'd sat there and gone, okay, let's storyboard the whole movie, this is exactly what we're going to do, let's go get that, I don't think it would have been as good a film as what did happen, which was, this is the foundation and the plan, but whenever we get a better idea from experience, we'll change it and we'll keep trying, keep doing stuff. And I think that's paid off, to be able to leave your ego at the door and just let the film speak to you and tell you what it wants to be.
Well, I can't wait to see it. December 16th cannot come soon enough, seriously. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure talking to you. And you guys stick around. Star Wars Show will be right back. Peter, before we close the show this week, I wanted to share something that I found online this weekend.
What's that?
It's this adorable picture of you on your 4th birthday!
I know, I found it at my parents' house.
God, you're such a dork even back then.
Yeah, pretty much always been.
Oh, which brings us to the multitude of reasons why you all are thankful for Star Wars in your life. From the countless marriages that sprung out of a shared love of the saga, to people sharing the stories with their own children. Even lifelong friendships forged by the power of the Force.
Darth Coco got into acting because of Star Wars, and Star Wars inspired Caleb Miller to become a graphic designer.
Nate Buckman became a makeup artist, costume designer, and photographer, all because he saw Star Wars at age 3.
But you know what I'm really thankful for?
What's that?
I'm really thankful for the cast of Rogue One, which we're going to be talking to very, very soon.
And we want to ask them one of your questions. Submit a question for any cast member on Twitter using the hashtag SWSasks, and maybe, just maybe, they'll answer your question.
Finally, remember to check out the Star Wars After Show presented by Verizon, where Andy, along with other esteemed Lucasfilm employees, will sit on the couch behind us and rap about what went down on this week's Star Wars show.
I gotta say, it's weird having you plug that.
I gotta mix it up a little bit, you know?
Sure,
Watch it this Thursday and every Thursday on youtube.com/Verizon.
Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.
I also got an X-Wing that year, too.
Oh,
that
what
was
a
a big
special
deal.
day.